If your peace can be taken by a text you don't love, you're least. Tonight, we steal it back with Epictetus. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. Imagine living on autopilot, rehearsing a role you never agreed to play, pleasing to avoid silence, chasing to blunt anxiety, apologizing to keep the peace. You pay with time, sleep, and self-respect, hoping it buys security. If that line stings, good. It means your signal is still on. Epictetus, the enslaved man who became a teacher to emperors, left a warning that cut straight through modern noise. If you would be angry at a stranger for taking your body, why hand your mind to whoever tugs hardest at your emotions? We don't lose ourselves in one dramatic moment. We leak ourselves in tiny concessions, especially in love, because love grants us the most beautiful excuse to abandon our standards. Let's be clear from the start. This is not a sermon against women. Stoicism isn't anti-woman. It's anti-self-betrayal. The target here is our habit of giving away the only domain Stoics say we truly command: our judgments, our choices, our actions. Epictetus called this the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us and some are not. That sentence is the root password to your inner citadel. Her feelings? Not up to you. Her timelines? Not up to you. Her choices, history, or healing? Not up to you. What is up to you? The principles you stand on, the boundaries you honor, the tone you bring into a room, the standard you hold, especially when it costs you comfort. The moment you trade these to keep someone, you don't keep them, you lose yourself. That's not devotion. That's offloading your sovereignty. You weren't born to orbit another person's moods. You're here to learn the art Epictetus taught: govern within. When your mind is steady, your life stops feeling like a court case where you're always on trial. You don't plead for the verdict of worthy, you render it by how you live. Here's a simple diagnostic. If you hear yourself saying yes when your spine whispers no, if you hold your tongue to avoid rocking the boat, if you adopt opinions you don't believe to prevent an argument, you are not participating in love. You're managing liability. You're not a partner. You're a hostage paying ransom in dignity. That's not romance. That's performance. And performance burns. Stoicism gives a blunt countermove. Separate event from judgment. It is not things that disturb us, Epictetus says, but our opinions about them. If she withdraws, that's an event. Calling it abandonment at your core, that's judgment. If a conversation heats up, that's an event. Deciding you must rescue or conform, that's judgment. Practice this micro habit. When tension spikes, pause and name the bare fact in one sentence. A message hasn't been answered. Then ask, what action aligns with my standard? Not, how do I get them to approve of me? But, how do I honor who I said I am? That one question moves you from survival patterns to leadership. Let's talk about one of the fastest ways men lose themselves: the savior script. You see chaos, you offer rescue. You believe with enough patience, proof, and self-erasure, you'll stabilize the story. Epictetus has no patience for this vanity. It is impossible for a person to learn what he thinks he already knows. Translation: if someone isn't asking to change, your effort is not love. It's control in a costume. True care respects agency. You can invite, model, and hold a boundary, but you cannot carry. When you carry beyond consent, you convert love into leverage and respect into resentment. Stoic kindness says, I will be steady. I will not be your regulator. Another trap: explaining your value. The more you argue for your worth, the more you confess you doubt it. Stop submitting essays to juries that never asked for evidence. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus said, boundaries speak fluent clarity. Distance is a sentence. Consistency is an argument. If respect drops, exposure drops. Not as punishment, as policy. Policy is your friend. Decide yours now, in cold blood, not hot panic. Policy 1. Self-command before connection. If I'm dysregulated, I pause. Breath first, reply later. Policy 2. Respect or reroute. If tone crosses a line, I step out and invite a calmer time. Policy 3. No fixing, only inviting. I don't carry what isn't mine. I offer rails, not rescue. Policy 4. Silence over performance. When I'm tempted to explain my worth, I demonstrate it by exiting or executing. Policy 5. Standards before stories. I measure patterns, not promises. And yes, you'll be tested. Not because people are cruel, because human nervous systems look for the railings. Do you wobble? Do your actions match your declarations? Do your non-negotiables negotiate themselves the moment you fear loss? These are not her tests. These are your opportunities to calibrate. A word about being strong. Strength is not volume. Strength is not stonewalling. Strength is not coldness disguised as clarity. Strength is regulated action. You keep your voice low, your words few, your choices consistent. You enforce your line once, not 10 times. You do not weaponize silence. You utilize space. You do not retaliate. You reroute. The modern myth says love is proved by how much you can endure. Stoicism says love is proved by how well you remain yourself. Self-command doesn't shrink intimacy. It stabilizes it. Two anchored people can disagree without declaring emergencies. Two unanchored people will turn breakfast into a courtroom. Epictetus again. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So, who would you be? The man who tells truth gently, even when it's inconvenient. The man who schedules his life around his mission, not his worst impulse. The man who can love without losing his axis. The man who exits cleanly when respect becomes optional. This is not harshness. This is hygiene. Let's address the fear beneath all this, the fear of being alone, misunderstood, mislabeled as cold. The Stoic answer is tenderness married to firmness. You welcome connection and refuse self-abandonment. You can be warm and bounded. You can be generous and discerning. If someone calls your boundary cruelty, remember, boundaries feel like betrayal to those who benefited from your lack of them. And what about the voice that says, if I walk, I'll lose something irreplaceable? Stoicism offers a different calculus. Anything that demands your self-betrayal isn't a treasure, it's a tax. Freedom, Epictetus said, is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding what lies beyond our control. You don't disregard people, you disregard outcomes. You show up well, and release the rest. You cannot lead your life while begging reality to be other than it is. Here is a practical cadence to install self-mastery where panic usually lives. The 3 R's. 1. Regulate, 60 seconds of slow inhale. 4. Hold. 2. Exhale. 6. Shoulders down, jaw loose. 2. Reframe, name the event, fact, and the story, judgment. Keep only the fact. 3. Respond, one sentence that protects dignity. I'm here to talk when we can both be respectful. Then follow your policy. Run that loop a dozen times and your nervous system learns a new home. Steadiness. People will feel it before they believe it. Your presence becomes predictable in the way that matters. Consistent dignity, not unpredictable in the way that bleeds trust. You will be tempted to negotiate your line. Just this once. The cost is invisible at first. A hairline crack in the mirror of who you believe you are. Stack enough. Just this once. Moments, and the mirror won't recognize you. That's the slow tragedy Stoicism is trying to save you from. Not heartbreak. Self-erasure. So here is the line a man should never cross with a woman, or anyone. Do not betray yourself to be loved. You can compromise on preferences. You never compromise on principles. You can bend schedules. You do not bend your spine. If you needed permission to choose the harder peace over the easier chaos, Epictetus already gave it. Choose policies that protect your composure. Choose speech that is short and clean. Choose exits when respect dissolves. Choose a life that keeps your center intact, even when your heart is open. Because a man who governs himself is not unloving, he is unowned. And that, to a Stoic, is the beginning of freedom. Epictetus said freedom is won by disregarding what is not ours to command. Let's translate that from marble to Monday. If your peace swings on someone else's tone, calendar, or attention, you're leasing your inner life to the market. Raise the rent. Boundaries aren't walls around your heart. They're rails for your nervous system. You don't install them to punish anyone. You install them so your character can stay intact when feelings run hot. Boundaries as culture. Most people treat boundaries like fire alarms, only pulled in emergencies. Stoic practice treats them like building codes, quiet, built in, always on. Culture is how we do things here. Your boundary culture might sound like time. I keep a daily deep work block. If you text me during it, I'll reply after. Tone. I discuss ideas. I don't accept contempt. If it shows up, I pause and reschedule. Availability. I respond twice a day. Emergencies call. Repair. If we rupture, I initiate clean repair within 24 hours, once. No speeches, no courtroom. Just policy. Policy liberates you from improvising your dignity. Agreements beat assumptions. You don't need to win the relationship, you need to define it. Stoics prize clarity because chaos feeds fantasy. Make a simple, living agreement when things are calm. Conflict rails. No name calling, no threats, no public blow-ups. Either person can call a timeout. We re-enter within 24 hours. Phones. No phones at dinner. Messages wait. Planning. Confirm plans 24 hours prior. Repeated last-minute cancellations reduce access. Respect clause. If either senses disrespect, we pause before content and fix tone first. This isn't bureaucracy. It's kindness to two nervous systems. Most fights are just the price of not having rails. The calm playbook, when emotions surge, when heat rises, most of us sprint to perform. Explain harder, apologize faster, rescue quicker. Epictetus would say you're chasing outcomes instead of governing inputs. Try this 4-step loop. 1. Name, don't narrate. My chest is tight. Voice volume rising. 2. Return to control. Breath, 4 in, 2 hold, 6 out, x 6. Shoulders drop. 3. State a standard in 1 sentence. I want to talk, not shout. 4. Offer a rail with a time. Let's cool off and restart at 7. Short, measured, enforceable. If rails aren't possible, you choose space, not as a weapon, but as a temperature reset. On tests and why they're useful. You will be tested, not because people are villains, but because bodies ask. Are you safe when I'm scared? A test is often a question in disguise. Will you match my chaos or keep pace with your principles? Do your words equal your patterns? Will your boundary hold when it's inconvenient? You don't pass by performing or dominating. You pass by remaining yourself. Calm is not capitulation. It's command of your instrument. Anger isn't banned. It's bridled. Warmth isn't forbidden. It's not for sale. Selection over seduction. Many men audition for rooms that punish their nature. Stoicism asks a different question. Is this a room where my values breathe? Stop assessing only chemistry. Assess compatibility with your code. Cure it by standards. Green. Congruence. Words is almost equal to patterns. Repair that arrives quickly. Respect for your time. Curiosity without control. Amber. Chronic lateness. Jokes with thorns. Intensity with no stability. Address once, then watch pattern. Red, contempt, scorekeeping, public shaming. Exit without pyrotechnics. You're not judging souls. You're protecting stewardship. If the dynamic makes you abandon your axis, it's not your niche. The right people will breathe easier around your clarity. Solitude, your power plant. Epictetus didn't preach isolation. He taught autonomy. Solitude is not no people. It's no performance. It's where you build the artifacts that make you durable. Routines, receipts, craft. If you're a creator, founder, or builder, guard your niche block like a monk guards morning prayer. 60 to 90 minutes daily of undistracted work that compounds, skill, asset, system. A simple physical practice, lift, walk, stretch, that grounds your nervous system. A recovery ritual, no screens last 30 minutes, wind down notes, sleep window. Why it matters. Neediness often masquerades as romance when your life has no structure. Purpose is the lighthouse. Relationships are ships. Love thrives in harbors, not hurricanes. Detachment is not equal to indifference. Detachment is choosing reality over fantasy. Indifference is refusing to feel. Stoicism invites full feeling, then precise action. You don't deaden desire. You aim it. You can want someone and still refuse disrespect. You can grieve and still refuse self-abandonment. A steady man is not cold. He's clear. Rejection refrained. Seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, writes Epictetus. Rejection is just a fast tutorial in alignment. The room couldn't house your standard good data. Let outcomes reveal fit instead of indicting your identity. When a door closes politely, thank the architecture. You aren't being erased. You are being edited. Language that lands, short, clean scripts. Tone reset. I'm in for this convo when we're calm. I'll check back at 7. Boundary. I don't do name calling. If it starts, I pause and resume tomorrow. No rescue. I care, and I'm not the right person to fix this. Here are 2 options. Decline. That doesn't work for me. Here's what does. Exit. This dynamic isn't aligned for me. I'm stepping back. Wishing you well. Speak once, enforce once. Repetition teaches more than volume. Opposite action to break old loops. Your reflex is data, not destiny. If you overshare when anxious, practice 1-sentence replies and step away for 10 minutes. If you fawn, practice, let me get back to you, and breathe. If you chase, put the phone in another room and lift something heavy. Small contrary moves rewire faster than big promises. The price of just this once. The most expensive phrase a man can utter is just this once. That's how principles turn into preferences. Each exception erodes the culture. Epictetus would call it training the wrong dog. You're always training, either your resilience or your excuses. Pick deliberately. A compact weekly cadence. Plan, 30 minutes, 2 non-negotiable deep work blocks on the calendar, 1 connection ritual, 1 recovery plan. Audit, 15 minutes what earned a repeat. What gets reduced? What needs rails? Repair, 10 minutes if a misstep is yours. Own it cleanly. No essays, no. What? Prune, 5 minutes, 1 notification off, 1 obligation declined, 1 surface level input muted. This is not life hacking. It's inner city maintenance. Kings maintain their gates. When disrespect arrives, don't evangelize. Don't litigate. Don't escalate. Enforce. Disrespect ends access. Not someday, now. Not loudly, clearly. If you lecture, you move the spotlight from the pattern to your performance. Let the policy do the talking. I don't continue in contempt. Stepping out. Tomorrow at 6 if we're calm, then mean it. Respect often returns when its absence costs something. Masculinity without performance. You don't have to cosplay. Tough. Stoic masculinity is clean posture, measured pace, honest words, and consistent follow-through. You can bring flowers without begging. You can apologize without erasing yourself. You can be affectionate without becoming available on demand. The signal is not bravado. It's predictable integrity. A story to ground this. A client, call him A, kept losing himself in early relationships. Pattern. 3 weeks in, he canceled training, abandoned his niche block, and started managing texts like a crisis line. We built a tiny system. Non-negotiables. 3 lifts/week, 1 90-minute niche sprint, 1 friend night. Communication rails. Response windows at noon and 6. Voice for conflict. No midnight dissertations. Boundary phrase. I'm in for this when we keep tone clean. Otherwise, I'll pause and revisit. Silence is not a weapon. It's an invitation for both nervous systems to re-enter the window of tolerance. Access is earned and re-earned. You do not punish. You calibrate. If respect dips, access contracts, calendar time, responsiveness, intimacy, all recalibrated by pattern, not mood. When respect returns consistently, access expands. Quiet. Predictable. Humane. The N+1 principle for boundaries. Name a boundary once. Enforce on the next breach. If you name it 5 times, you teach negotiation. If you enforce cleanly on N+1, you teach culture. Clarity prevents theater. The no rescue policy. Care is not equal to caretaking. You can be present without becoming a regulator. I'm here to listen. I'm not the best person to solve this. Options: walk, silent, sit, or reschedule. Your call. You respect autonomy, yours and theirs. Rescuing creates dependence. Restraint creates room for adults to engage as adults. Desire without drama. Attraction fares better in calm air. You are allowed to want someone. You are not allowed to dismantle your life to keep the feeling loud. Keep your pillars in health, craft, friendships, and your niche upright. When the pillars wobble, desire turns into desperation. And desperation invites dynamics you'd never choose with a clear head. Signal hygiene. Guard the input, guard the mind. What you feed your attention shapes your reactions. Mute accounts that gin up contempt. Follow craft, character, and long-form thinking. Batch comments and DMs twice daily. Close the tab when your breath shortens. 1. Low input. Half day each week. Walks, reading, actual conversations. Your nervous system will thank you with better choices. The hardest script. No. Practice these in the mirror until they fit your mouth. No, thank you. Not at this time. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that tone. I decided against it. No thesis, no footnotes. You're not auditioning for permission. Jealousy without the spiral. Jealousy is a bodyguard with poor manners. Translate it. Jealousy's up because the bond matters to me. 2 things help: clarity on plans and a quick check-in before late nights. Here's my part. I'll keep my standards and focus on my work. You named the feeling, asked for a behavior, and owned your side. No courtroom. Opposite action microdrills. If you want to text a paragraph, send 1 clean line or none. If you want to chase, leave the phone, do 20 slow breaths, then walk outside. If you want to argue, write the argument and don't send it. Read tomorrow. If you want to fix, ask, am I being asked to? If not, don't. Small reps compound faster than heroic vows. The calm negotiator. You negotiate from standards, not need. Principle. I don't take same-day changes that derail my priorities. Offer. I can meet Friday at 5 or Monday at 11. Fallback. If neither works, let's skip this round. You're not stone. You're structured. When leaving is leadership. There's a moment when staying means self-betrayal. Epictetus would ask, is this within your control? If not, and repeated attempts to set rails are met with contempt, exit cleanly. Exit script. Our patterns aren't aligned, and I won't keep living outside my standards. I'm stepping back from this dynamic. I wish you well. Then hold your line. No late-night revisits. No justifications. Grieve, then rebuild your rhythm. Freedom is purchased with endings. Grief without regression. Grief will try to bargain. One more text. Let it pass through your body, not your calendar. Move, walk, or lift. Make, ship something small in your niche. Meet, one call with a steady friend. Maintain, sleep window, and food you'd serve a guest. Rituals carry you where emotions can't. Your daily operating system, DOS. Open, 15 to 20 minutes, move lightly. Breathe 4-6 for a minute. List top 3. Circle the one that makes other tasks easier. Deep block, 60 to 90 minutes, niche, skill, asset, no notifications. Rails, response windows, conflict by voice, no midnight essays. Close, 15 minutes, 3 lines. What moved, what jammed, what I'll adjust. Lay out tomorrow's first click. Downshift screens. Floor on hard days. Water, protein, sunlight, 5% action, 1 text to a real human. Floors prevent free fall. Monthly reset, 90 minutes. Keep/kill/improve. Which habits earn their seat? Which drain you? Which get a 2-week experiment? Relationship ledger. Did any pattern require you to shrink? Adjust access. Principles audit. Rewrite one standard in shorter words. Short is strong. Environment sweep. Clear the desk, trim the apps, make the bed. Low friction, fewer excuses. 5 anchors to memorize. 1. I do not beg to be respected. I demonstrate standards. 2. My kindness has a cutoff. 3. My silence is my power. 4. I don't explain. I execute. 5. My access must be earned. Say them out loud weekly. Language tunes posture. What people will say. They'll say you're cold. You're not, you're calibrated. They'll say you're controlling. You're not, you're self-governing. They'll say you're avoidant. You're not, you're selective with what your nervous system can carry while you build a life that compounds. Love, properly understood. Stoicism does not shrink love, it purifies it. When you're rooted, love stops being a rescue mission and becomes a collaboration. Boundaries don't kill romance. They protect wonder from corrosion. When two free people choose each other without coercion or panic, affection deepens because it is offered, not extracted. The Stoic promise. You cannot guarantee outcomes. You can guarantee your conduct. You can be the man whose word outlives moods, whose presence lowers the room's heart rate, whose standards simplify every decision. That man loses less because he never loses himself. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So say it now. When leaving is leadership. There's a moment when staying means self-betrayal. Epictetus would ask, is this within your control? If not, and repeated attempts to set rails are met with contempt, exit cleanly. Exit script. Our patterns aren't aligned, and I won't keep living outside my standards. I'm stepping back from this dynamic. I wish you well. Then hold your line. No late-night revisits. No justifications. Grieve, then rebuild your rhythm. Freedom is purchased with endings. Grief without regression. Grief will try to bargain. One more text. Let it pass through your body, not your calendar. Move, walk, or lift. Make, ship something small in your niche. Meet, one call with a steady friend. Maintain, sleep window, and food you'd serve a guest. Rituals carry you where emotions can't. Your daily operating system, DOS. Open, 15 to 20 minutes, move lightly. Breathe 4 to 6 for a minute. List top 3. Circle the one that makes other tasks easier. Deep block, 60 to 90 minutes. Niche, skill, asset, no notifications. Rails, response windows, conflict by voice, no midnight essays. Close, 15 minutes, 3 lines. What moved, what jammed, what I'll adjust. Lay out tomorrow's first click. Downshift screens. Floor on hard days. Water, protein, sunlight, 1-5% action, 1 text to a real human. Floors prevent free fall. Monthly reset, 90 minutes. Keep/kill/improve. Which habits earn their seat? Which drain you? Which get a 2-week experiment? Relationship ledger. Did any pattern require you to shrink? Adjust access. Principles audit. Rewrite one standard in shorter words. Short is strong. Environment sweep. Clear the desk, trim the apps, make the bed. Low friction, fewer excuses. 5 anchors to memorize. 1. I do not beg to be respected. I demonstrate standards. 2. My kindness has a cutoff. 3. My silence is my power. 4. I don't explain. I execute. 5. My access must be earned. Say them out loud weekly. Language tunes posture. What people will say. They'll say you're cold. You're not, you're calibrated. They'll say you're controlling. You're not, you're self-governing. They'll say you're avoidant. You're not, you're selective with what your nervous system can carry while you build a life that compounds. Love, properly understood. Stoicism does not shrink love, it purifies it. When you're rooted, love stops being a rescue mission and becomes a collaboration. Boundaries don't kill romance. They protect wonder from corrosion. When 2 free people choose each other without coercion or panic, affection deepens because it is offered, not extracted. The Stoic promise. You cannot guarantee outcomes. You can guarantee your conduct. You can be the man whose word outlives moods, whose presence lowers the room's heart rate, whose standards simplify every decision. That man loses less because he never loses himself. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So say it now. I will be a steady man who protects his peace, builds real value, and loves cleanly, without abandoning himself. Then do what you have to do. Install 1 rail today. Enforce 1 boundary once. Ship 1 brick in your niche. Repair 1 misstep cleanly. Prune 1 input that dilutes you. Walk quietly. Let your patterns announce the policy. And when the world tries to pull you back into performance, remember, a man who governs himself doesn't need a throne. He is one.